I'm Yola, and today I'm going to show you a tutorial how to make a Sankey diagram in Flourish and import it into Illustrator and artwork it up ready for one of the exercises that we do on the infographics course that I teach at University of the Arts London. There are 3 steps to the Sankey diagram. One is to gather the data from gov.uk website on ethnicity and housing. Second step is to ideate and try out that data, try out those data sets, input it into some templates, a template in Flourish, and then we're going to export it and put it into Illustrator. Illustrator will be doing, we're trying to show a data story. So why a Sankey diagram? Sankey diagram is a great way of showing how data sets, what's going on in them, how to decompose it. Secondly, it's really good for showing flow of data from one point to the next, and the actual thickness of the line shows you the value of that flow. But it's a really fashionable chart to use, and for this exercise we're going to do something for a magazine, and the idea is to show a data story. So I was showing a data story it's about ethnicity and housing, who are buying homes and who's getting left behind. It's not usual. So often Sankey diagrams are like materials, or, you have waste like flowing from this to that, and kind of different reports. But I think it makes a really good story. It's not really polished design. This is just to show you how you can tell a story in data, and using maybe a little bit of an unusual chart. Great. So welcome. I'm going to show you now how to get that data out of Excel, put it into Flourish, then get it into Illustrator. In this tutorial, why Flourish? I really enjoy working in Flourish because it's really simple, it's templated, and you can spend time looking for stories, thinking about stories, and visualizing really quickly at a really very user-friendly and very attractive. I think they're really well designed, and what is amazing is for free. You can do all this for free, and you can download a .svg, which is just fantastic because that is vector artwork. Now once you've got that into Illustrator, then all your skills of what to do typography, what to do with paths, all of that comes to the fore, and you can start designing and refining that story, and is it saying what I want it to say? But really that kind of thinking process is detached from the design decisions you have to make when you're an illustrator. So that is why I think getting into Flourish, making your charts up in Flourish, and just kind of analysing what you're talking about, what are the relationships, and really quickly trying out different charts. So hope you really enjoy this, and yeah, let's do it. In this tutorial, we're going to take data from the gov.uk website about home ownership. It was published in 2020 and updated in September 2020. It's ethnicity, facts and figures. We are going to put this in a pretend magazine layout. So I'm looking for something that's quite dramatic, that really shows a story about ethnicity and home ownership. I have extracted the data and put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and I used it as a percentage exercise. Here we have white British, mixed Indian, all these ethnicities, and there's 8 of them here. The categories are on tenure, owned or shared ownership, social rented, private rented, and these are the numbers here, and over here I have worked out the percentages. So just in case you just need a quick refresh how to do that, I'm going to delete this, and what we do is we divide the smaller number by the bigger number. So equals the owned or shared ownership total for the white British divided by, this backward slash, the total number of white British people who were part of the survey, and hit return, and that's 68%. So 68% of white British own their own home or have shared ownership. So lovely Excel. I go to the bottom little square and pull it down, and that gives me the percentages, and this is what I'm going to be looking at. I have decided I'm going to use a Sankey diagram for this, and I'm going to do that in Flourish, set it up in Flourish, and here is Flourish. There we go. That's all their templates. The reason I'm doing it in a template is because I can spend my time ideating, so actually working through my idea, working through the data, how it looks very quickly, and then I will export it as a vector artwork and .svg and put that into Illustrator, where I can actually refine it and start designing. So in this tutorial we do a little bit of design just to show you how to start approaching that, and to show you the strengths of Illustrator and the strengths of taking a Flourish chart where you can input your data, have a look at what your data looks like, and then export that to work it up in Illustrator. I'm clicking on this, the alluvial, and you can see it's all set up to be an animated chart. With Flourish you have a preview, and this is where the numbers live. So in this little preview here, this column here, area here, is the before, and that is the after, and the seat flow is what gives you this width of the flow of the line. So I'm going to get my data and put it into this template and see what happens. All the time I can be looking down here to see what happens. So I'll go to Excel, and I'm not going to just import it because I've got a lot more going on in this, and I've got a lot of calculations in here. So I'm going to Command C in Mac to copy. I'm going to hop over to Flourish, and I'm going to put in, so there we go, white British to the Chinese, and so that I don't get lost I'm going to delete these, and you can see on the right hand side how the templated chart is being affected by this. So white British, and so I stay organized, I'm going for social rented total in here. I'm going to in here I am going to put tenure, all categories tenure, and that goes into Flourish. So the types of tenure, and the first type I'm putting in here is owned or shared ownership. And I'm going to do exactly what I do in Excel, pull that bottom right square down and it copies it. I'm going to delete these and I'm going to start putting in my numbers. I'm going to pick this up, highlight these numbers and drop it go. Then I'm going to copy this group, it's the same group, down here, and go, and have the same group again. There we go. So I'm going to change something. And the whole time you can see how the preview is changing here for me. So social rented, there we go. So we'll look at the preview. We'll start working on this to see what we can do. So that is the arbitrary flows and this is the step by step. That's the difference in this case. Alignment, you can center that so you can see how that changes. Left and right. We can match the data sheet. So this has got the private rented, social rented and owned or shared ownership. So it actually matches the data sheet that we've done. We can add some advanced and you can change the node width, spacing. So I'm going to increase the spacing a bit. There we go, because I really want to hone into the owned or shared ownership. We're going to have different height modes and a different aspect ratio. There we go. So we've got something that's a lot wider, 3:1, and that's the standard. So we can make all these decisions within Flourish. And colours. So I actually want to recolor everything in Illustrator, and I'm going to go for something that's really kind of just quite subtle. We can affect the opacity here, but actually we can do all of that in Illustrator. The labels, inside or outside. Match the data, colours to match the data. So I'm really happy with that. I'm now ready to start getting ready for my data story. So I'm looking at this and I can see I've got white British, mixed Indian, Pakistani with black African and Chinese. Now I would like to have the 2 or 3 lowest and the 2 or 3 highest. At the moment this setup is very much as match the data sheet, and I want to reduce overlaps, and this has given me the black African numbers for owned, social and private, the mixed, and the Black Caribbean. These are the three lowest, with the Bangladeshi fourth for ownership, and at the bottom I've got the two highest, which is the Indian and the British. So that's match data sheet. So that's the data as I input it, and this is the overlaps. So I could have prepared all of this when I was preparing my data to put into this Sankey diagram. Okay, now I am ready to export to Illustrator. So export and publish. I would like an SVG. SVG will be a vector artwork, and I download it. I click on this and it's opened. There we go. So at the top three, Black African, mixed Black Caribbean. Bottom two that I'm going to look at is White British and Indian. So all of these are going to work just like the paths in Illustrator. Everything you can do in a path in Illustrator, you can do with this. So I am going to prepare this for what I want. Now I've had a think about it, and I already know that I'm going to have a particular color palette that is predetermined, and this is where it's going. It's going into this magazine layout, and I want something very dramatic, a chart that is going to catch your attention when you're flicking through. I have personalized the title. When will it be my privilege to buy? And what I hope to do is to connect people to the story that I'm telling. I am going to delete these name tags, these lines of text. I'm going to concentrate on this area, and the first thing I'm going to do is to work on the colours. Those are all the lines highlighted, and I'm going to create a colour. Go colour group. I've now picked a colour for all of the lines. So all of the lines are going to be in these colours, and I want to go from a light blue to a dark blue, and that's fill. I need to create that colour. Go pale blue, happy with that. So I might come back to those and work them a little bit more. Now I want to have rounded corners on these, so these two little dots, I'm going to create rounded corners. There we go. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make these top three, Black African, mixed Black Caribbean, into black bars. So we'll zoom into it, and I'm going to also get those rounded corners. .95. Go. Okay, so I've now put branded calls and everything. I'm now going to change colours, and I'm going to select that with the selector tool, and I'm going to put black in there. There we go. And I want a red, but I want to keep it sort of more great. Okay, so I've got the top 3 are in black and the bottom 2 are in red with the lozenges. So I'm going to pick up these paths, and with the Alt button I'm going to select 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I am going to colour them black. So there they are, black. They are done. These I'm going to keep this neutral colour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and give them the neutral colour. In fact, I've changed my mind already, and so you can see these are all paths. So really anything you can do to a path in Illustrator, you can do to these. And there we go, and there's the red. So what we've got here is a bit of a spaghetti junction really, and what I want to do is to concentrate on these lines, these paths that go down to ownership. Got these 9 lines highlighted, and I want to reduce the opacity, so I'm going to put it to 85. There we go, 85, and you can see we start getting the benefit of, you know, what's really lovely about these charts is this you can see all this layering, all this flowing going on, and I want to have those solid because these are the ones feeding into owned tenancy. There we go, and I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to change the opacity down to 85. I might go lower because it's a red. Get these down to sort of 50%. Now what I want to do is to change the layering. I'm going to go to Object, Group, and now that I've got the group, I can arrange them to be sent to the back. There we go, we've got them as a background. So we're now just concentrating on the 2 comparisons, and I'm going to send these reds backwards a little bit, and I'm going to turn them into a group, arrange, and send them backward because I want them to go behind the black lines, to the back and then forward. There we go, so they're underneath those black lines. I'm now going to make sure these are a group, and I'm going to bring them to the front. Great, brilliant. Okay, that's beginning to look a lot better. Vibrant. Yeah, great. Yeah, much happier with that now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create some labels, and the labels are going to go onto these 5 lines to show the percentages, to make that really clear. Now I'm going to make a little block here, and zoom into this. And I don't want a border, so no stroke, and I do want it to be the same colour as this. I'm going to put some text here, and I'm just going to holding text 25% and white, and it's going to be an Arial because I'm working in Arial for this. Arial black. There we go. And position that down. Just by using my up and down arrows, I'm positioning that. Now what I will do is I really just want to see it in situ, just to make sure that it's going to be great for what I need. And I'm going to zoom here. So that'll go here. Mixed is 37, 68 and 69. There we go. Yep, really happy with that. It's color coded to this, and I'm now going to get ready to send it over to my layout. I'm going to put the text on my layout, and I'm going to delete these. And delete. Great. So I'm really pleased with that. That is the document is going into. So I'm going to select this whole group. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it in here. And here we go. So what I need to do now is just to shrink it in place and see, I'm going to copy that, and yeah, copy that and paste. There we go. I'm going to move that out. Probably want it about there, and I like that, and send it over here. Social renters, all good to go. I'm now going to do the listings here. Arial bold. Black African. Great. So I've got everything lined up. I'm going to zoom into it a little bit. So that's going to be a little bit different. Line this up. Line. And these are smart guides. If you want to have those on, view smart guides here. So what I've just done now, I've selected those paths and deleted them. They've come from the Flourish artwork. So I'm going to just make this regular. I'm going to make this regular just by selecting it, and home ownership and shared ownership. Now I just have to put my credits in. So to get the credits, I am going to, this is the website where it's come from. Copy that. And this will be in the data that you can download from the worksheet. That's down in the comments below. So this would be a really small footnote. Go. And don't forget to credit Flourish. Don't need that. There we go. Put that down to 11 points. This is just a dummy layout of the magazine. And there we have. It's started it or calculated it in Flourish and put it together in Illustrator. I mean, this is just an example, and I've just noticed something I forgot to put in. And there we go. Ethnicity, Tennessee, and yeah, so have a look at Flourish and use that to do the ideation of what was the story. You can work it out really quickly in Flourish because you can just play around with your data, visualize it, and get something that you can export as a vector and put that into Illustrator. Great, so have fun and enjoy it. Thank you.